Hey everyone, I'm Dark Quarter and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. So, last time I got the good end for Emmy, and I kind of figure there's going to be multiple endings, and I wanted to go back to previous choices to see if it gets me something different or what thing will affect the story enough to get maybe a different ending. And that's my goal here, is to show a different ending for whatever it is. And I'm going to keep going basically until I get a different ending, and I'll just, skip through whatever I need to, to not make it incredibly long. But don't worry, you're only gonna miss me doing bad accents and stuff, so you won't be missing much. So this is the most recent choice that I made last time, was to go after her after dinner, when we mentioned her father, and Emmy kind of stepped away from the table. Last time I went after her and did all that stuff, and this time I'm gonna stay and talk to her mom and see what happens then. Alright guys, I'm back from trying the track of talking to her mom, and it turns out that doesn't, it changes a lot of the dialogue between now and the last part of the game, but it doesn't change it enough to make a different ending. So I'm going to go back to going after her, because there was a point where I talked to Misha as one of the last decisions I made. So I think it was after going after her decision, so I'm going to try to do that. And I'm going to skip the scenes that I already did, so you won't have to sit through me reading everything all over again. So going after her, and then skip mode, which is automatically just going to skip everything I've already seen before. Fast forward. There's Misha. Okay, here it is. The decision with Misha. So I did this one, given to let Misha know. So now I'm going to downplay the issue. That was the other decision I didn't try. I'm not sure I like the idea of airing private matters to the student council. Nothing major. Hee-chan, lying is a terrible thing to do. She's not buying it. Okay, give her something, but not too much. We had a disagreement and haven't resolved it yet. Oh, why not? Because, look, I don't need to talk about this, okay? It's not a big deal, okay? I'm fine. And Emmy, is she fine too, Hee-chan? Misha's voice is taking on a decidedly serious edge. This is ridiculous. I don't know, okay? I haven't asked. Things are complicated right now. What kind of man are you? Things get a little rough and you're going to hide from them? Misha's sudden retort catches me completely off guard. She-chan would call that a cowardly act, and she'd be right, too. You two were close, happy together, and you're just going to roll over and die without a fight? You should be willing to fight for your girlfriend, Yasayo. Seems that Misha is channeling Shizune at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that Shizune gave her a script to follow based on my answer. Misha points an imperious arm at the classroom door. Now you get out of the classroom and patch things up. We still get after new classes. This doesn't seem to dissuade Misha. Then after class, you better do it, Hee-chan. It's important that you don't leave things like this. Why? Misha regards me as one would regard an animal's droppings. That's a nice image. Didn't you care about her, Sayo? That's important, isn't it? Huh, she's right. I do care about her. Don't I? Okay, I'll see her after class. Great, I'll let She-chan know you're okay then. The loot returns. I guess that means that Misha isn't angry at me anymore. She waves and disappears down the hallway, and I eat my lunch. While afternoon classes draw to a close, I prepare myself for the task ahead. I have to see Emmy. Misha was at least correct about that, leaving the question of Amy and I an open issue won't work. At the very least, I need to apologize for what I said. I considered going to her room to find her, but she's probably still off the track. The steps out of the main building and down the path to the track make me feel like a doomed man. I have a twisting, horrible feeling in my gut that this is all going to go horribly wrong, that I'm not going to accomplish anything. Except for maybe driving the final nail in the coffin of whatever it is Emma and I had. There she is, just as expected, running laps around the track after everyone else has gone to shower and dinner. I don't wave or even make my presence known, I just sit down on the bleachers and watch her run their laps. It takes her a few trips around the track before she notices me, after which she skids to a stop, eyes wide in surprise. Surprise is quickly masked by anger, which in turn fades behind a mask that I already know is impenetrable. "What are you doing here?" Not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day. "The other day?" She laughs a curt exclamation of disbelief. "It's been almost a week or so." "Yeah, well, better late than never, right?" And he crosses her arms and stares at me coolly as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge, then. I forgive you." "Is that all?" Her almost impatient question catches me so off guard that she's halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. "No, wait!" Amy stops, turns, and walks back to me, breathing a little heavily and looking annoyed at my interruption. "What?" "Okay, I need to make this right somehow. I have to know where I stand, maybe patch things up. Can you at least sit down?" "I think we're okay talking here." "Fine, sure. Look, about us..." I pause, trying to think of a good way to phrase what I'm about to say. But before I can launch into an impassioned plea for giving me another chance, Amy's already spoken. "There's no more us, Cecile." "Why not?" "We're just not right for each other." She delivers this outrageous statement without even looking in my eyes. "I don't believe you. We're great with one another." Says the guy apologizing for getting thrown out of my house last week. "It was a fight. I said something really incredibly stupid and apologized for it." "And how many times have we already discussed the problem that started the fight? How many times have I told you that there was a set boundary that I wouldn't cross? And how many times did you keep trying to cross it?" "Because your boundary was stupid." Amy rolls her eyes, folds an arm across her chest, and cocks her head to the side. "Do you see this, Cecile? This is why we're not right for one another." Her voice softens a little and she reaches out to stroke my cheek. "You're a good guy, but we're not going to work." With a horrible lurching feeling, I realize that she's been practicing this, maybe every day since I left her house. Even the cheek stroke seems rehearsed, like something out of a movie. She never intended to give me another chance. Hell, she probably would have been fine with never seeing me again. "So that's it then? Nothing else to say but, gee, it was fun while it lasted, but so long?" This actually seems to amuse Amy far more than I wanted it to. She gives a rather morbid-sounding chuckle. "That's how I've lived my life, Cecile. You should know that by now." "And it was fun." A sad smile. She shivers slightly and the smile vanishes. "But it's over now. It's for the best." I want to yell, to scream at her, make her see reason that this is stupid, the whole act. That she's just afraid of me, afraid of what being close to someone means. I want to tell her that I love her and that I can't just give up on her at the drop of a hat. Except, there's no point. She made up her mind. We're done. "Fine." Amy nods, satisfied. I want to hit something. "Good." She brightens with a false cheeriness. "See you around, Cecile." "No, you won't. You won't even try." She shrugs as if to say, "Have it your way," and turns her back on me once more, quickly accelerating around the curve of the track. I feel numb. This is it. The end of the road for us, whatever that was. Closure, at least. Amy rounds the track again without sparing me a second glance. She's running much faster now, and I can't help but think of that first run together. I ran to catch you to try to prove I wasn't as weak as I knew I was, but it ended badly for me, didn't it? And now you're off running too fast for me again. I have the choice to run after you again. But I won't. Not this time. You'd never let me catch you. That's bad. I don't even notice walking away from the track, or walking into my room, or pulling a book out of my bag to read. Just before bed I reset my alarm. Amy and I have had our final encounter. And then I go to sleep forever. We don't speak again after that. Alright. Well, I'm guessing that's a bad ending. Because it sure wasn't a happy ending. Okay, well, I guess I found another ending for Emmy. I could go back through like every other decision and try to see if there's another one, because I have no idea how many endings there are, like, per character. There could be like 3 or 4 for each one. I have no idea. I mean, I doubt there is that many, but so there's probably at least 2 endings for each character. I would say a good and bad ending. If there are any more, I don't really know. I'd have to look it up or something, and I don't really want to do that because I don't want to like spoil things for myself. But okay, in this case, this is the bad ending. I really much prefer the good ending, obviously. But all right. So that's the second ending for Emmy. And I really would like to play this more and maybe go along with some of the other characters. Like, my first actual choice was going to be Shizune, I think. And then I was thinking, you know, Hanako seems nice, so I kind of wanted to go with Hanako, but then I just kind of fell into Emmy's route, and that seemed it. So maybe I can go back to the point where I saw Hanako and see if I can get her somehow. The only thing I can think of that set me definitely on Emmy's route was that I ran after her during our first run. So I might try that next time, or if you guys would like me to try playing a different game, let me know. You know, say something in the comments about it. And let me know what you think of this series and everything. Should I keep doing these types of games? I like these kinds of games, the dating sim / visual novel. There are other ones I could play that I have. Or should I try something else? You know, something completely different. So let me know in the comments, and until next time, thank you guys for watching, thanks for being cool, and I'll see you next time.